Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another comic book review. Today we're going to take a look at Darth Vader #1, written by Greg Pak and drawn by Raffaele Ienco. Ienco? Not sure how to pronounce it. Ienco. And this is the Darth Vader run coinciding with the new Star Wars run. This is taking place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, from Darth Vader's perspective. And I enjoyed this book overall. I have all the collected editions of the Darth Vader run that Marvel did that took place between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and the other run between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And in my opinion, the one that takes place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope is much better. Charles Soule wrote it. It was a 25-issue series. I think the other one was like a 30-issue miniseries. They're both pretty good, but the one between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope is really great, really showing Darth Vader's rise. So let's just jump into it. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars, Darth Vader. And it starts off, from Darth Vader's perspective as he's dueling with Luke on Cloud City. And it's from his perspective, kind of saying that, Luke's got to join him. And they're quoting it word from word. He's his father. And he says, no, that's not true. That's impossible. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. Join me. We can rule the galaxy. And, word for word quoting from Empire Strikes Back, the end of that film there. And then Luke's fallen down, limbless. And then it cuts to the Millennium Falcon getting away. And Darth Vader's just thinking, we got to find him. Got to find Luke and turn him to the dark side. And he's talking to his people here. The one nitpick I have about this book is Darth Vader is a man of few words. And they had this little droid here that's doing all the talking, kind of talking for Darth Vader. I feel like they could have done without the droid and just had, dialogue to explain what Darth Vader is thinking. Like you see Darth Vader's text bubble there. And then the cool thing, he's got the dark shadow troopers, or what were they called? Death Troopers from Rogue One. And you see right there, they're speaking their gibberish, because if you remember for that movie, it was all muffled. It was like, rah, 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 like robotic noises. So the only complaint is the droid there. And then you see the Emperor, and he's got this guy. I don't remember his name, but he was in all the prequel movies, and he's like his right-hand man, and, kind of explains him being by his side. You almost wonder, he's obviously not a Sith, but is, Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine controlling him with the dark side? I don't really know. And then this is Admiral Piat from the movies. The name sounds familiar from the movies. So Darth Vader's talking to this droid here, and basically saying we gotta find allies of Luke Skywalker and make them pay. So with that, they go on a quest in the first mission. He knows that a Skywalker is going to lead him to Tatooine. So they go to Tatooine there in an Imperial shuttle. And you see there's this other ship here, like from that Star Wars book, what was it, issue 2, and the guy that looks like Hondo Ohnaka and another bounty hunter, and they're sort of bounty hunters, and they're like, oh, if we get that Imperial ship, we could have all sorts of clearance, make all sorts of money with that. We gotta jump on that. And so they land on Tatooine. There's a nice task force there, and Darth Vader's going into like the memory banks to see what's going on, and they go to the Lars homestead there, and it brings back memories of young Anakin Skywalker talking to Shmi, and then Owen and Beru, and he's just thinking about it, and they go inside, and it's a mess, from when Luke's uncle and aunt died, and Darth Vader's just rummaging through things, and he sees the little work area that Luke had, and it brings back memories to when he was constructing C-3PO as a child, and then also memories of Padme, and how the robot says, this is why it kind of takes me out of it, because the robot's kind of joking around, and he's like, oh, the Tusken Raiders shot it up, and then it brings back memories to Anakin talking to Padme, talking about how the Tusken Raiders killed his mother, and it's the exact quotes from the Attack of the Clones. I slaughter them like animals, I hate them, kind of that cringy dialogue from the movies, but looking back at it, it's not so bad. And then you get all this great artwork of the characters really looking like they look like in the movies, from Yoda, from Padme, from Anakin to Luke. And Padme is taking the shape of Luke falling into the abyss. And Darth Vader's thinking about it, like thinking about all the things that really went wrong in his life. And you don't even need any dialogue to know what's going on with this panel here. I mean, all Anakin wanted in the movies was to have Padme and to live and have a life and have a family, and it was all taken away. And the one part of the family, Luke Skywalker, that was still alive, fell into the abyss too, and Darth Vader is left with nothing, just emptiness. So some ads right there. And then he just goes out there swinging, just trying to get rid of his rage as it brought back the memories of Padme, of Shmi, of all these people. And he goes here to see the ground, and it's like the gravestones are buried to hide the fact that, you know, a Skywalker lived there. It was Shmi and her wife's, or her husband's tombstones that were hidden, you know, to hide the identity of the Skywalkers. And once again, you have flashback of Anakin looking at the tombstone of his mother with Padme looking on and saying he won't fail her, you know, which he did. And then you see this guy just coming out of nowhere and gets shot at by those bounty hunters we saw before. This is one of the Imperial officers, and he gets shot at by the bounty hunters. And you see all the explosions, and Darth Vader's just standing there because he can take anything. And he's getting shot at. He's pretty much on fire. And he just mows him down. The ship comes straight for him, and he just cuts the ship into two. And it just shows you how powerful Darth Vader is. He didn't even flinch. And he took that ship on head on and slaughtering all the bounty hunters on the ship. I think they said earlier in the panels that the bounty hunters called in for reinforcements. Darth Vader is slicing them all apart. Some of the Death Troopers are coming in for backup, but really he doesn't really need it. And so Darth Vader's walking away. And like I said, the robot kind of takes it away. I feel like it'd be much better if it was just the panel of Darth Vader and not the robot. Just my opinion there. So they go back to Coruscant, and there's this sort of statue of Padme Amidala, and it's sealed off to her apartment, you know, on Coruscant. They have like a statue of her. I guess she was a very influential senator, even in her death there, to last on, because what is this, 30 years later after the prequels, or 20 years, something like that. So he goes in there and once again gets more flashbacks to Padme and Anakin making out, and he's looking around and he finds some sort of information to where to go next, and cuts over here to this Gungan, and he's sort of part of the rebels. You see some rebels there, right there with you know the rebel helmet. So it's sort of a rebel alliance, and they're battling these alien creatures. And when they get attacked, and Darth Vader's there, I guess Padme's apartment had information to go to this planet. Darth Vader goes in there, and he says, "What?" And then the droid says, "By the Maker." And it ends on a cliffhanger where he says, "Padme," and it's this woman that looks just like Padme. And it's got you thinking, is this in Darth Vader's head, or is this really going on? I don't know, man. It was an interesting read. I really liked it. Like I said, my one nitpick is just the droid. But the art is great. The story was pretty interesting. I mean, let me just show you. This is my favorite shot in the whole book here is, where was it? Right here with Darth Vader just taking the shot and mowing down that ship. That was really incredible. That just shows you how powerful Darth Vader really was. And then in the back here, the editor, Mark Paniccia, is talking about how Greg Pak is a lifelong Star Wars fan, and he pitched a lot of great ideas, and they're going to take it into account with Darth Vader. And, you know, it has me interested for sure. I'm going to stay with it. And I guess makes you wonder, is this Padme? Is this a vision of his, or is this just a woman that looks like Padme? I'm not sure. We're going to find out in Darth Vader #2 coming out March 11th. And I'll definitely pick that up, see what's going on. This was very enjoyable. Art was great. All the characters look like they should in the movies. But once again, I have to stress, the droid was sort of unnecessary because it was just him just saying stupid stuff that it would be much better suited if Darth Vader had text bubbles, him thinking it, and him just doing these missions by himself. In the other Darth Vader books, they had Dr. Aphra as sort of his mouthpiece going along, being the jokey character. And I did enjoy those books, but like I said, the more characters of Darth Vader, the worse it is. He's more of a solo character. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was good. And I'll be sticking with the Star Wars books. You know, I got Star Wars, just regular Star Wars, Darth Vader. There's the Rise of Kylo Ren books, which I think is just a short little mini series. I think they're on like book 3 or book 4. So maybe I'll get the trade with that when it's all collected. But otherwise, definitely recommend it. And I definitely recommend the Star Wars book for sure. So thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Thanks. Bye.